Maybe you're like me and don't care very much for anatomy at all. Maybe you joined a psychology class to learn more about the world around you and how it functions and less about the various hemispheres of the brain. Like me, you care more about Freud and what he did than the hippocampus and what it does. Well, let me tell you why studying the various hemispheres of the brain and how it works is very, very crucially important to the study of psychology. My mom is a nurse, and I grew up with her. I would glance over at her study books and the different materials that she was reading, and all these words, and I would just zone out. I wouldn't care about how any of these worked. When she would try to explain to me, they'd go in one ear and out the other. I gloss over the words, and I couldn't care less. The brain, though, is responsible for monitoring and regulating so many of the information that we're receiving internally and externally. And unlike the theory of dualism, studying the brain sheds light about the biological foundations of behavior and mental processes and how our mind and our body is connected. Scientists and experimenters use electrical imaging in our brains to discover a whole assortment of things about how our brains work and how these things are located, where these things are located. When subjected to external stimuli, scientists are able to locate exactly which portions of our brain are firing when subjected to the things that are presented to us. Like when given a photo of a loved one, or smelling a certain type of flower, or playing a memory game, even trying to complete a tongue twister. When we use those electrical images, we can actually find out what sections of the brain are activating when we're exposed to that sort of thing. Also, studying damaged brains is one of the most useful ways to increase our understanding of the links between brain and behavior. Psychologists can see someone with a partially damaged brain and see changes in a person's behavior. Those behavioral changes can be attributed to that brain damage. As we know, damage to Broca's area can cause patients lose their ability to speak. But knowing this, we can assume that the part of the brain is some way related to language production. But we only know that because of the work that's been done. For example, damage to the frontal lobe caused Phineas Gage to have a complete change in personality. If you recall, he was involved in a rail yard explosion where he received damage to his frontal lobe, and he was able to return to work completely as normal, but his coworkers and others around him said he was a completely different person. From soft-spoken to mean and nasty, the damage that he had received changed his personality from one end to the other. If not for our knowledge of the brain and how each piece functions, we would just say, oh, he's different now, and ignore the scientific proof. But we have that because of our studies of the brain. So next time you're ready to dismiss anatomy like me, don't. Take the time to figure out everything and how it works. Not only will you be more knowledgeable about everything, but you'll have a better understanding of the world around you. We have so much to learn about what goes on up there.